The inherited shadow. The dust in Emily's grandmother's cottage smelled of dried roses and forgotten time. She was there to sort through her things, the sole heir to a lifetime of quiet history. In the bottom drawer of the mahogany writing desk, she found the photograph. It was tucked inside a crumbling album, a black and white snapshot of Gran as a young woman, standing before the very cottage she now occupied. Her smile was radiant, full of a future Emily never knew. But her eyes were drawn to the darkness behind her. Under the gnarled oak tree, a patch of shadow seemed too deep, too solid. It vaguely resembled a tall, slender man. A developing error, Emily told herself. A trick of the light. She couldn't stop thinking about it. The next morning, Emily pulled the album out again. Her blood ran cold. The shadow had moved. It had taken a step forward out of the tree's shade. It was closer to Gran now, its form more defined, though still blurry. Her brilliant smile seemed tighter, her eyes less certain. A cold knot of dread tightened in Emily's stomach. This was impossible. She spent the day trying to dismiss it, but the image haunted her. On the third day, the figure had emerged completely. It stood directly behind her grandmother, a tall, gaunt man in an old-fashioned suit. His face was turned down, hidden, but his long, pale hands rested on her shoulders. Gran's smile was gone, replaced by a mask of pure, wide-eyed terror. Emily tore the photo from its sleeve. The back read, in Gran's elegant script, "Summer, 1952. The Old Oak." Emily fled the cottage for a long walk, but the feeling of being watched clung to her. That night, the house was too quiet. She lay awake, the man's faceless image burned into her mind. Then she heard it, a heavy, dragging footstep on the living room floor below. Then another. That drag. Paralyzing fear locked her in place. The footsteps began to climb the stairs. They reached the landing and paused outside her door. The glass doorknob began to turn, slowly, silently. Emily finally found her voice and screamed, fumbling for the lamp. Light flooded the room. The turning stopped. The hallway was empty. She didn't sleep. At first light, she descended the stairs, her body trembling with exhaustion and fear. The album lay open on the coffee table. She had to look. Emily forced her eyes downward. The photograph had changed again. The man was no longer behind Gran. He now stood facing her, his back to the camera, so close they were almost touching. One of his long hands was under her chin, tilting her face up toward his hidden one. Her expression was one of utter despair. But that wasn't what made Emily's breath stop in her throat. There was a new figure in the photograph. In the background, at the cottage's front window, was a face. Pale, eyes wide with a horror that mirrored her own. It was her face. Emily was inside the photograph, watching the scene from 70 years in the past. A wave of vertigo washed over her. The air in the room grew frigid. The scent of dry rot and old soil filled her lungs. She felt a presence behind her, a coldness radiating against her back. She was too terrified to turn. A voice, dry as dead leaves and soft as a grave, whispered directly into her ear. Almost full. From the corner of her watering eye, Emily saw a long, pale hand reach over her shoulder. Its bony finger pointed, not at her, but at the photograph. It pointed to the empty space in the window, right next to her own terrified image. The space where the next figure would soon